It's the final week of business, says Bruce Cassidy. The start of a very busy week ahead for VGK. They travel to Denver tonight to meet the Avalanche. Our preview coming up next on this edition of Locked On Golden Knights.
You're Locked On Golden Knights, your daily podcast on the Vegas Golden Knights, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hi again, everyone. Happy Tuesday to you all. Tony Cardasco and Chris Golick from Las Vegas. Thanks for making us your first listen every day. You could find us wherever you get your podcasts. Please subscribe to our Locked On Golden Knights YouTube channel. We are brought to you today by Gametime. Download the Gametime app. Use the promo code Locked On NHL for $20 off of your first purchase. Terms do apply. What time is it, Chris Golick?
Game time.
That's correct. Bruce Cassidy told the media yesterday that by Thursday, he's hoping to have most of this season's starting lineup sorted out. We'll try to get the lineup there as close to it's going to be. Both starting goalies will be, I guess, between the pipes on Thursday and Saturday. Sammy, I guess that's Samsonov. And Hilly, my guess would be Aiden Hill.
You just love the nicknames, Tony. You love the nicknames, don't you?
I just don't. You know what? We really do like Bruce Cassidy a ton. For out-of-town media, that would drive me nuts. It really would. So the guess is then tonight we would see Akira. I wish he would break that one out. Schmid. I think Schmid is going to be between the pipes tonight against a team in Colorado, which has started off the preseason at 0-3.
Yeah, Cassidy mentioned Colorado hasn't really played many of their big guns in the preseason. So sometime between today and Thursday, the Golden Knights will see the likes of a McCarr and McKinnon and anyone else who can obviously fuel that Colorado Avalanche team. I pulled up last year's, I think this is the equivalent. It was Tuesday, October the 3rd. I'm assuming this was the first game after the team had their trip to Montana. And yeah, there's not going to be much planned. The Golden Knights actually lost 2-0 to the San Jose Sharks. Roster was Korczak, Waugh, Morelli, Demick, Dorofeev, Hutton, Brisson, Carrier, Cormier, Cotter, Ahak, Bischoff, Fraze, Kolasar, Rempel, Quinney, Comtois, Pahal, and then Hill. Hill and Thompson were actually both rostered, so I don't know how that shook out last year. But point being is I don't expect a whole lot from the Golden Knights tonight. I see maybe some of those camp competition players out there like the Tanners. Brisson will be out there. Probably most of the lower defense. I don't think you're going to see a whole lot of the common, if you will, the noteworthy VGK players tonight. They're still getting the weekend out of their system. I think they're flushing out.
Guilty game
detoxing. There you go.
Detoxing. Yeah, guilty game. Hey, they did not invite our guy Bruce Cassidy to go up there.
I caught that vibe. He didn't go.
Did not go. No, you did not go. This is going to be a time for Cassidy now, he still says, to evaluate and to keep building our game for the VGK. And as we spoke about yesterday, 3 times we will see the Avalanche and VGK play each other the next week. Plus, Cassidy said
8 nights. It's so bizarre. Three times 8 nights. That's so bizarre.
It's so rigged. It is so rigged. It just sets up VGK.
In whose favor?
VGK, okay. So that they're ready to go on opening night against Colorado.
Doesn't help the Avalanche.
Want them to feel them out.
Doesn't help the Avalanche at all, does it?
They knew that they had to build their confidence here and their chemistry in Vegas. So that's why they scheduled it like this, so that they could have some chemistry for opening night. So that narrative.
Audio, I'm shaking my head right now, just so you guys know. I know you guys don't watch a lot in audio, so I'm shaking my head. I don't agree with Tony.
Cassidy said with the 3 games remaining, he feels that his vets need to probably play in 2 out of those 3 games. You know what they should do? We should have a split squad like in baseball. Like one team plays in Bradenton, the other one in Vero Beach or something like that.
So every year, Edmonton and Gary, they have a split squad on the same night. One game is in Cal, Gary. One game is in Edmonton.
I like that.
And this year, the Flames won both games, like I think 6-1 and 6-3 or something like that.
Yeah. This is going to be a fun game to watch. Did you see that goal by Cal Ritchie yesterday? OMG.
That was good.
OMG.
That was good. That was good. That was creative.
Play fake up front. He fakes out on a breakaway as he's going forehand, fakes like he's going to shoot the puck, does not, misses it, but great puck control, comes around the other side to the left, and he goes backhand. And that, to me, says it all. And this is a player that they feel is going to stick. He's had a terrific career so far with the Oshawa Generals there of the OHL. You know that. I'm sure. Do you have his card? Do you have his rookie card?
I don't know if he's eligible to have a rookie card. I don't know if he's played
19 years old.
a game in the NHL yet. So basically the way it works with Upper Deck is you have to appear in one NHL game and then you get your Young Guns card.
Okay. And then they also have another guy who's making a lot of noise that they feel could stick, and that is Nikolai Kovalenko, who comes from the KHL. So we could see some of the future of this Colorado team. I wanted to ask you, how much longer is the window for Colorado now? Is it this season where they really do need to get back into the hunt for the Stanley Cup?
Yeah, I mean, McKinnon isn't getting any younger. Makar, I think, is still right in that window. But, I mean, the window is certainly getting smaller, I think, is a way to say. Let me pull up their cap wages and get some ages and birth dates here really fast for the Avalanche. So they're up there as far as the cap. They're actually $5 million over the cap right now, but I'm pretty sure, is it Landeskog who still had this like lingering injury for a long time?
2 years, right? I mean, at least.
Yeah, I don't know if he's going to be ready for opening night. I'm not sure. I'm sure they'll find a way to get this down.
I think the last I saw, I read like sometime in November.
Landeskog is injured reserve right now. Maybe
by American Thanksgiving.
Important day. So, I mean, listen, McKinnon's 29. He's right there. Mika Rantanen's 27. Mittelstadt, that's going to be a good pickup, I think. It's 25.
Oh, yeah, good. That's a good pickup.
There's a lot of their players, honestly, they're pretty tight right now. They're a little better off than Vegas, I think, as far as age goes and everything. Defense is a little bit older. Devon Taves is 30, Josh Manson 32. But then, of course, you got Cale Makar, the best in the world, so to speak, at age 25. He's got another 7 years of elite plus status left, and then probably another 4 years of elite status and before he retires sometime in his late 30s. So curious when Colorado definitely flips the preseason switch, if you will. It's going to be today or Thursday. Today would be probably the better time for Colorado to do it because I'm sure they're going to know that Vegas isn't going to be dressing a whole lot. So
and the guilty game for VGK.
We'll let Colorado's stars just kind of whip, if you will, on the Golden Knights younger players, and then sit Colorado's players, sit their big guns on Thursday. We're talking the competitive advantage because they are playing each other in back-to-back games. Keep the ones from not playing against each other maybe could be in both teams' best interest right now. So maybe it's kind of like an unwritten gentleman's agreement. Coach Cassie did mention he doesn't know who Colorado is going to be putting out there and stuff. And I'd expect not to see a premier VGK lineup tonight. I'd expect to see some of the big guns for Colorado. And then that script probably flips on Thursday, so you avoid the top players playing against each other. So that way there's not a lot out there as far as a competitive advantage. One note from Cassidy's presser asked about the power play. Yeah, needs a lot of work.
Needs a lot of work.
Needs a lot of work. I mean, it's he was the various characters in Slapshot. Hey, fix the power play. We're working on it.
Does this mean he was still bitter about the Montana trip? We could have been working on the power play. But
Cassidy talked about this before. Cassidy did mention last week in one of the pressers. It's not optimal to have the players gone for 2 days in the middle of camp, but he 100% said that. But then I don't say he walked it back, but he talked about the team building and everything and the importance of that. So, this is his third time going through it now. So I'm sure he's adapted to it, and it worked pretty well 1 year, and the team's has been pretty successful. So, the importance of keeping the locker room tight. You got a lot of new players. There are a lot of younger players as well. They get a chance to see the guys with their hair down and stuff, so to speak, and connect as humans, and that's important too. But I also understand Cassidy, like, hey guys, we should be practicing right now. What are we doing here?
Today, a lot of VGK players will be in attendance at, and I don't know if they're going to take off after this or not, but there is a private practice today for first responders. And I think that is really a terrific gesture here. And in case you're unaware and outside of the Vegas area, this is Vegas Strong Day, October the 1st, the worst day ever of 2017. 60 lives were lost. Hundreds of people were injured, including our good friend Nick Raboni, assistant coach there with the UNLV hockey team and the Route 91 Music Festival. And again, we can't say enough about just our thoughts going out today to all of the families, friends of the victims of that senseless act of violence, and also to the survivors who still have to live with this every day. Very tight-knit community here in Vegas.
Yeah, I mean, there's really nothing I can say right now besides just driving by that area. You can never not think about what happened, and yeah, that's it's unfortunate. It's terrible what happened, and community came together, and yeah, I don't know.
Vegas strong. Stay with us, folks. Coming up ahead, should we be concerned over William Karlsson's injury? We'll talk about that and much, much more on the way right here on this edition of Locked On Golden Knights. FanDuel start off the season on the right foot there with a big return. FanDuel, it's America's #1 sports book, as we know. I'm wearing my UNLV Rebel. This is sort of an alumni look, right, Rebs? I like this look. And of course, UNLV against Syracuse coming up this weekend. You could find that line and much, much more. NFL, everything happening there. Just go to FanDuel.com. So when you get a hunch in the middle of the game, you can also check out the latest stats, view live play-by-play, and so much more on the same page where you place your bets. You'll get started with $200 in bonus bets guaranteed when you place your first $5 bet. Again, go to FanDuel.com, FanDuel.com, America's Sportsbook. Welcome back on this edition of Locked On Golden Knights. Tony Cardasco and Chris Golick reporting from Las Vegas. We appreciate you making us your first listen. Thank you so much. Of course, don't forget, on Fridays, we've got WTF Day. What the Friday? Saturdays, it's the Chris and Chris Jr. Show, the YouTube exclusive. And please make sure to subscribe to our Locked On Golden Knights YouTube channel. We would really appreciate that. So yesterday, somber day. My goodness. So we lost Dikembe Mutombo and Pete Rose in the same day. We used to go by, it's funny, not funny. So Pete Rose, you're a big card collector, right? And maybe you have autographs as well. Do you have a Pete Rose autograph? Oh, so he used to sign at this card shop over there at Planet Hollywood. It was kind of a big joke with me and my friends where anytime we were in there, we would wave to Pete Rose in the window. And there was nobody at one point. There was no one signing. There was no one in line to get his signed autograph. And so it was just a big funny thing because they put him in this window there at the card shop over there at Planet Hollywood. And hey, I just saw Pete Rose and I waved and we would text each other. But
my buddy Chris Condos, who I think we're going to have on the show next week, we talked about
next week. Holy smokes.
We should do it Tuesday.
Time?
I think Tuesday. I think next Tuesday.
I thought we were going to dump him in the late night VGK media dump, like in the middle of summer.
But he posted a funny story here. I mean, not to be funny, but that's just, the reality of kind of Pete Rose's storylines along what you said. So if you thought he was doing a memorabilia signing while he had the TVG, the horse racing network, on in a racing form while he was doing a signing, you would be correct. And then I had joked he probably passed with a harness program in his back pocket. So
love it. But that was Pete. I mean,
yeah, he's a gambler. I mean, literally, he's a gambler, and so be it. And we can argue about the Hall of Fame and all sorts of things, but this is a hockey show.
Yeah, and a lot of my friends, again, in all honesty, we want to send out condolences. A lot of my friends here in Vegas became good friends with him, and then with Dikembe Mutombo,
He's a local.
Yeah, so I broadcast a game when Mutombo was playing for Georgetown. So I did back in the day, in the 90s now, holy smokes. And then a couple of years ago, I was on tour with this One's basketball league with Tracy McGrady.
That's a fun tour.
Yeah, and Dikembe Mutombo showed up in Atlanta, and he hung out with us like in our little lounge area for a while, and just one of the nicest guys on the planet. And I posted a little TikTok thing that one of our guys had videoed, and I posted it yesterday on Twitter.
TikTok,
yeah, no, and Mutombo was dancing and just having fun. He was just so full of life. So let's get back to the hockey here. Our VGK fans, Chris, starting to worry about the condition of William Karlsson. Now we are told by Bruce Cassidy that Karlsson could be back on the ice on Friday. I feel Bruce Cassidy has also hatched some sort of a plan in case he's not there by saying that Nick Waugh, Brett Howden, or one of the two Tanners, Tanner Lazinski, could be filling in. Karlsson can't go. Groin be chilling?
No. So, I mean, first and foremost, what's nice is the Golden Knights do have that depth down the middle, and Lazinski has done a very nice job. I don't know if Lazinski becomes the second line center if Karlsson can't go early, but there are plenty of options, whether they keep Nick Waugh in his natural position, elevate him. I mean, there's a lot of different ways they can go. That's a good thing. The bad thing is that if Karlsson cannot go, now all these chemistry issues we've been talking about, this isn't going to help because now you're moving players outside of where Coach Cassidy has originally envisioned them playing. Maybe this helps grow chemistry. Who knows? There's a lot of ways this could definitely play out. But back to the Karlsson side, I read some local media saying, hey, it seems like everything's going to be okay. Should be out there by the end of the week. But listening to Cassidy's response from Monday's press conference, I'm not buying it.
No.
We hope this week. Like, this wasn't even a day-to-day. We're calling it day-to-day for now. We'll reevaluate. That's the kiss of death. In my opinion, William Karlsson isn't even at that point right now. It's at the, we hope stage. We hope this is going to happen. So this is one stage below when Cassie's like, oh, we hope it's, or we're calling it this for now. Whenever coach says we're calling it this for now, it's always more. And it's not a bad thing. Cassie's not messing with us. It's just coach speak for, hey, we got a problem here. This, I feel, is worse. And I hope I'm overreacting a little bit. I hope everyone's going to come at me and say, hey, you're overreacting, Golick, chill the heck out. And then
You're not. No, you're not.
What I don't want, and I hope I'm wrong, I don't want on Wednesday, Karlsson is getting his introduction while waving from the bench instead of on the ice, because that's certainly going to be a concern.
He doesn't even have a pin. He doesn't have a stinking pin, does he? Okay, so how's he going to play?
He's got a parking spot, Tony. Don't worry, he's got a parking spot.
Get this one, Golick. Is this an upper, lower, or middle body injury?
How do I answer that?
I don't know, but what did they say? What was the diagnosis?
I don't think they've officially said. I think it's all hearsay. I don't think there's a reason to assume it's anything but lower body. If you think they're coy about the injuries in the regular season, obviously in the preseason there's no rules on it. So, you're not going to get a whole lot here. If I had to assume, again, we're all assuming right now, and maybe someone knows better than I do, but I'm assuming it's a lingering issue. Or if it's not a lingering issue, that could be even worse. Because now we're talking about a lingering issue in his groin from last year that's healing to a new issue that's an equal to or greater problem. So this is a concern. And William Karlsson, he's 31 years old, folks. January 8th, 1993 birthday. He's born 4 days and 12 years after I joined this lovely earth. But we're not talking a young Karlsson anymore. He's been largely reliable over, his VGK career, 70 games, 82 games, 67 games, all 56 games of the COVID shortened year. 63 games, 1920, but I think that was also a shortened season with COVID, so that's most of the games. And then Get this, Columbus 2015-16, 81 games. Columbus 16-17, 81 games. First 2 seasons with Vegas, 17-18, 18-19, 82 games. So he's got some mileage. The 31-year-old is getting up there right now. And these are the things that are going to happen to these players that did get these long contracts a few years ago. There's going to be breakdown at some point. And here's to hoping it's going to be, a 75 game plus season for William Karlsson. And this is just some, precautionary measures here, but I'm not buying this is going to be a chilling season for William Karlsson. I think there's going to be some breakdown right now, and it's very unfortunate because the team needs him.
Oh, we need the prop on the board. Karlsson versus Stone. Number of games played. You'll take Stone. You'll take the over in Stone because you think he's playing all 82.
He's playing 83 games this year. He's going Chuck Norris. He's going to play 83 games this year.
Are you counting preseason? That's crazy. No, seriously, that would
I'm not
be
counting preseason. 83 regular season games. He's Chuck Norris.
Okay. And then the other thing too, Vegas Bjorn's going to have to get into condition. I know that his drinking arm is fine at Foley's Ranch. I don't think that's an injury there to the hand or the arm. No.
Well, listen, Karlsson is important to this team. Before Tony cuts the segment out, Karlsson's important to the team right now. We talked about last season where with his injury, and I do concede that I think if Karlsson would have been healthy in the postseason against Dallas, it would have swung one of the games in VGK's favor, but he still had a solid postseason without putting up a lot of stats. He was still, I think he was even, all things can now. It was a very tightly contested series, but given his circumstances and his defensive responsibilities, I think he was even. I don't think he was plus or minus in the postseason in that 7-game series against the Stars. So if the Golden Knights are going to make a deep run, Karlsson needs to be involved, not at the end of the season, but for the regular season. You take William Karlsson out of this lineup, and it's full doom and gloom.
Severe case of empty net-itis. Severe case. Coming up next, it's HSK camp opening up. We'll tell you about that next when we return right here on this edition of Locked On Golden Knights. Gametime is the place to go. It's got a new feature called Gametime Picks. It makes getting tickets a lot easier for all of these live events here in Vegas and everywhere. The picks, Gametime Picks, will filter out all the fluff, and that'll show you exactly all the incredible deals on great seats, so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. They've had some really good features there that you definitely need to check out. The one that I really like is the one where you get the all-in pricing. You just toggle this feature, and the total comes up front, and there's no surprise fees at checkout. Chris and I both utilize the Gametime app, and we use it wisely, whatever that means. Lowest price guarantee, event cancellation protection, job loss protection, all of that. That's why you go to Gametime. Lowest price guarantee is something that you really need to use. Gametime, if you don't find the lowest price, Gametime will credit you 110% of the difference. So that is really good. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets, folks, with Gametime. Download the Gametime app today, create an account, use the promo code LOCKEDONNHL, and you will get $20 off of your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, use the redeem code LOCKEDONNHL for $20 off. Download Gametime today. What time is it?
Gametime.
Back on this edition of Locked On Golden Knights, Tony Cardasco, Chris Collick from Las Vegas. Thanks for making us your first listen each and every day. You can find us wherever you get your. That was a good shout out. You were ready. Wow.
I jumped the gun a little bit, but I rather be early.
I kind of left you hanging though too. Of course, don't forget Fridays WTF. Saturdays are the Chris and Chris Jr. Show, the YouTube exclusive. And currently, I'm going to have to post it today, but we have the audio of, you did a roundtable recently. I think that's up here. I saw the audio floating.
Oh, okay, yeah. No, we did. We did a roundtable with the top 4 teams in the Pacific Division from last year. So we had Kings.
It's got to be Oilers, San Jose, right? One of the top 4 teams.
Exactly. The Kings, Oilers. Who's the 4th team? I always forget the 4th team.
Vancouver.
Stop it. Vancouver. There we go. It was good. I mean, it was a good discussion. I kind of went full heel. I was kind of in a I almost said a
Oh,
bad
you
word.
went full Cordasco.
No, I just went full Gallic, actually. It was fun, and we had a good time. It's always fun getting the perspective of your team and other people's teams through other people's eyes, and it's a good discussion. I felt the Kings gentleman, I always forget his name off the top, but really good dude. I feel like he's being a little hard on the Kings. I think the Kings are going to be better, although this is before the Drew Doughty injury, so maybe he was right.
He was right. Yeah, he was trending in the right direction. We want to talk head coach Ryan Craig believes that the Silver Knights have an advantage. Rigged. It's rigged. With most of the players having been in camp there, a lot of these players started with like development camp year 4, should be developed by now. No, rookie camp year 5, and then into VGK camp. And so Silver Knights of the AHL opened up camp yesterday. 14 forwards, 11 defensemen, 4 goalies. Of course, players could be moved around. Some could be sent the way up north to ECHL Tahoe. They need a star player up there, I think, to kind of draw fan attention, perhaps. But who are the stars of this team here in Henderson going to be? Brabanets, you've got Denisenko's there, Sapovalev, Brendan Bowman. Defensively, my guy, Joe Fleming, Daniel, what is it, Jaka? I always messed up his name like you do. Dyson Mayo. Who are the stars of this team?
I mean, you basically
Brendan Brisson will be back there pretty soon.
You basically named him. I mean, Gage Quinney, I think, gets the most attention. Denisenko does very, very well. Bischoff, Dyson Mayo. I mean, there's a lot of different ways the team is going to go. And obviously, do we see an Alex Holtz go down there? It could happen. I think that'd be kind of strange, but that could happen, especially with what's happening with the Tanners right now. The Tanners shaking things up with the Golden Knights. Who would have ever thought? Who else do I think? Oh, Brisson, obviously, like you said, Tony. I don't see a path to Brisson being on the day one roster for the Golden Knights.
You don't think he'll be on day one? Oof.
I don't see it. I mean, but they don't have to. He's still with the waivers and everything, so they don't need to force him. It's actually advantageous for the Golden Knights and the Silver Knights for him to be in Henderson right now. What I wonder is if the Silver Knights, and this isn't just a thing for Henderson, but all the American League teams, I wonder how testy these camps get, right? These players just went, a week and a half with the NHL players. Some of these players might have even gone through rookie camp. Some of these players might have gone through development camp over the summer. So is this the point where a lot of these guys just they're tired of practicing? They're tired of being on the ice as much and grinding? Is this where you start getting some scrums, some players getting a little aggressive with one another? I gotta think there's some fun battles happening, because I mean, for a lot of these guys, it's the difference of being in the American League and getting to take planes to the games and being around the NHL arena, or being in Tahoe. I'm not knocking Tahoe, but it's not Vegas. It's not Reno either, thankfully. But point being is, it's this is a big moment for a lot of fringe players who don't want to go up to the the ECHL, and I don't blame them. And be fun maybe to check out a practice or two just to kind of see what the vibe is.
Yeah, pretty interesting. And then there's the 4 goalies. So you have Carl Lindbaum, Jesper Vikman, Jordan Papirny, our guy.
Peps.
Yeah. And Isaiah Seville. And one of those 4, you're going to keep 3 goalies, but you also have Akira Schmid coming back down to the AHL level. So
yeah, I mean,
there's going to be some movement. Who goes up north there? They'll keep 3, right?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the way things are going, I think I would say Papirny and Seville probably wind up going up. Papirny is, in his words, there's a lot of goalies here, so just trying to work his tail off and see what happens. That's directly from Paps. So
you got a direct message from Paps.
Yeah, we're talking some cards and stuff.
Okay,
yeah, he's fun.
He's terrific. He was a great guest too. So he's thinking he'll start up there, you feel?
I mean, he's not going to directly say it, and I'm not going to read between the lines for him, but just looking at the situation, I mean, and his experience and everything, that's what's likely going to happen.
Dude, I hope things go well for him.
He got starts for Henderson last year, and Did he make it? Did he dress for? I don't think he dressed for a VGK game, but he was the next man up at one point. I think a couple seasons ago. You never know. I mean, that's
Was
the
he on
thing.
like that emergency roster playoffs?
I
Or
don't know. You
something?
never know. I mean, that's the thing. Like with VGK and goalies, as weird as last season was, they were fortunate, the Golden Knights, to only use 2 goalies through all 3 goalies, with Patera getting limited time versus 5 the previous season. This year, I have my concerns about that, but I think the Golden Knights have addressed those concerns with Akira Schmid, and we'll see how it all shakes. I want to know I don't see him. I'm assuming he's probably still with his junior team. Was it the 18 or 19-year-old he drafted from the KHL who just had these crazy numbers last season? I want to see where that guy winds up in a couple of years, because his numbers were just nuts. I don't even know the guy's name, but
I forgot who it was. Yeah, me too. But yeah, that should be interesting, and
he was
we'll
a
follow
big
that.
tank. He was a tank too. He was a tank, big dude.
And don't forget, you could catch these practices at America First
Yep.
Arena.
Yep,
Is
yep,
that
yep.
what it's called now?
Yep. America First, and I'm not knocking anyone, but you want to get
11
really up
a.m.
close and personal. There's
Really?
no one that goes to these practices. So if you're a hockey player, if you got kids that play hockey, they want to get them
What if
up
you're-
close, strongly
what if you're-
recommend.
What if you're a media member who collects a lot of autographs? Just kidding. That's bad. That was bad. But it's 11 a.m. daily, so check that out. And we'll see what happens tonight. I don't think.
Persona non grata, is that the terminology?
Yeah, I think.
Okay.
I don't think a lot of the players are going to make this trip tonight. And then if there is an open practice for first responders, will they go to that practice and then fly up to Denver after that? Perhaps the team, because I mean it's preseason. I don't
That's
think
tight.
really,
That's tight. That seems pretty tight, but I don't know.
it's an hour and a half flight, an hour 15.
Yeah. No, I don't know. I mean, that's honestly a fair question. I don't know how that shakes out. I'm sure there's an email that says what they're doing
In other
today, but I'm
words,
not on that
you're
list either.
saying take the Avalanche tonight on the
Oh
money.
my God, hammer.
Do you think they'll have a big number? It's a preseason game for crying out
I
loud.
will bet before I look, I'll say Avalanche minus 250 tonight.
Okay. And don't forget too, I think it's a contract year for Georgiev. So maybe they'll throw him in net there. They don't want him to succeed. Okay, he's going to ask for a ton of money. You know that, right? This is his last year in Colorado, I do believe. We appreciate everyone tuning in. You're looking for the number?
Yeah,
Thank
I don't
you
even
so,
see
so much.
I don't see a number on the game yet. Hold on, keep blabbing. Give me.
Especially
We're already 2 minutes
every day.
over. We got more
Yeah.
time.
Only
You can make something up.
No, I was just going to say we appreciate everyone tuning in. Thank you so much. Of course, went out to football practice last night for my UNLV Rebels, ranked in both polls now. Golick in both.
Oh, that's good.
polls.
That's exciting.
Yeah, so they were in the AP poll when that came out a couple of days ago. They're practicing at night in preparation for that Syracuse game. Of course.
I can't
Don't
find
talk
a line.
football.
There's not even
I
a
know,
line
it's
for
okay.
this game right now. There's
Don't
nothing
talk
out
football
there.
on this show. It's a hockey show. Don't talk football. WTF.
Yeah, only baseball and basketball.
Only baseball and basketball. Okay.
All right, I got
of
nothing.
course, Fridays are WTF. Saturdays, sometimes it is the Chris and Chris Jr. show. On this Vegas Strong Day, we appreciate you tuning in. And we'll see you again tomorrow. For my man, Chris Golick, I'm Tony Cardasco from Las Vegas. Have a great day, everyone. And please take care.